So I was sitting here wondering if Yukako can actually turn into full-blown Kathy Bates. Can she go beyond the point of where she was last week? And she fracking did. I was sitting here going, God, Yukako, like, you're, like, completely insane in the sense. Even when she finds out that Koichi has a stand, she's like, oh my God, we have the, like, closest compatibility of any kind of couple in the world. Oh my God, it's, like, the greatest thing in the world. Like, in a sense, even when Koichi threw I hate you at her, she didn't care. In a sense, her delusions were so amazingly large. It just didn't matter. And in the end, when Koichi saved her from that cliff, she was like, oh my freaking God, like, I love him even more now. And since maybe I can't be with him, but I still love the idea of just thinking about him. I was like, this woman's insane. I was like, yeah, best girl just randomly appeared and she's like completely insane. And then when she opened that door and there was a chair full of electricity as well, I was kind of sitting there going, Koichi, you mate, you need to get out of there. Like I said, you need to freaking just vacate that area. Just freaking get your ass out of that house. But really he can't because he's trapped in there. In a sense, we really did see his character change once again. We saw him become stronger as a personality since he's actually now become the stronger character. Since, in essence, we kind of saw Echoes turn to Echoes Act 2 and his ability actually kind of improved as well. In a sense, he really can, once a person actually touches the surface where the words are being put on, the actual words become real. I was kind of sitting there going, that's pretty freaking cool. In a sense, when Yukako actually came up to that kind of steps and she put a hand on it where it says hot, it actually came into life. I was kind of like, that's actually kind of interesting. I actually kind of liked Koichi as a character because you really did see him change. You saw him become this more calculated individual, more kind of smart, knows what he needs to do to actually get himself out of there. He's a freaking awesome character. I love him because he's actually just slowly turning into one of the best characters of Part 4. And even in its entirety, the whole entirety of JoJo. In a sense, I actually really do love Koichi because he's actually slowly improving as a character, becoming stronger and just sort of getting out of his shell. Pardon the pun, because in essence, Echoes came out of his shell as well, and since he actually digivolved or evolved, I was like, oh my God, we actually saw a stand evolve. But you kind of, in that essence, you kind of saw his character as well change. As you saw his mental state just improve, since basically a stand actually improves as, I guess, as a character improves as well. I was kind of sitting there going, that's actually kind of interesting. So maybe one day we might see other characters' stands evolve, or just, it's an interesting concept which I would wish they might explore later into the series as well. Maybe they might, maybe they won't, I'm not too sure, but either way, I'm fracking damn interested. I've really also got to really freaking know Okuyasu's and Jote's character in this episode as well, because really, in essence, they were the greatest detectives in the world, and since they kind of really just pinpointed where Koichi was straight freaking away and just got there, and it's like, yeah, we know where he is. In the sense, when Koichi actually put those words on Yukako's arms and actually managed to dial the numbers, and that scene I was kind of like, that's smart, Koichi, and since you're pretty freaking smart, I like that, I freaking like that. And I liked how after that point when Josuke realised, oh, that's actually Koichi, he's like, okay, payphone, Waze, where could it be? Like, bam, just puts his finger on one of those areas and goes, yeah, he's there. And in the essence, he was there, but in a sense, they really didn't do too much. They actually arrived at the scene right as it ended, right as the fight completely ended. What do I say? It's actually still kind of interesting. So they actually are the world's great detectives. And I love those two in a sense. Really, can we get a spin-off of them just solving cases? Because really, it needs to happen. Okuyasu and Josuke just solving cases, because it'd be the best anime in the world, literally, it just would be. But overall, I must say, this anime is getting crazier as the time goes on, and it just gets better and better. Yukako's character you really just did see this character might just be in love with Koichi. Yeah, she's kind of delusional, she's kind of really, like, obsessive with him, but in essence, she kind of, in a weird way, just cares about him, but I guess she kind of just gets to a point where it literally just gets too much, and her hair actually becomes white at one point as well. I was like, okay, that's actually kind of interesting. And the one thing I got to note as well, when we actually saw Echo's Act 2, when she actually got blown away, I liked how she used her hair to actually catch her back. I was like, that's ridiculous, but that's just like JoJo level of ridiculous. I was like, I can accept that, because it's just JoJo, but I was kind of sitting there going, that just did happen, didn't it? That just happened. I just saw that happen in front of my eyes. That was just kind of freaking damn interesting. But really, I've got to say, Koichi's character was probably the best part of the whole entire episode, because you really did see his character change. I like how he actually even cut his hair at that point as well. In essence, he kind of actually managed to get himself a hair like that, like going across, kind of like pulling F from Part 3. I was kind of like, huh, okay, that's actually kind of interesting, since he kind of went from Super Saiyan Level 2 to kind of pulling F Super Saiyan Level 2. I was kind of like, pulling F, be proud. I was like, God damn it, just that guy, Koichi, mate, just never change, because you're just freaking amazing. But I just love its anime. Its anime is just, it's just knocking out the park every single week. As the weeks go on, it's just knocking itself out the park because it just improves. It just gives you two parters, but the actual second part always improves on the first part. In the sense, you kind of think to yourself, okay, I mean, the first part's gonna be fracking amazing. Second part's gonna be even better. It always is. Second part is just improving. Just you can never say which is the best episode of JoJo in essence, because really each episode just improves on the previous one. You can't just say, well, freaking hell, like I just don't know what to say which isn't the best one. And really, this episode for me so far is the best one. This one is the perfect one because literally it was freaking perfect. And since you saw Koichi just kind of come out of his shell and actually just act with himself and actually say, I've got to do this myself, I've got to save myself, I'm going to get out of here myself. You saw his character just kind of accept the fact that he needs to save himself and just get out of the situation. How he does it was freaking amazing. How he actually just saves Yukako in the end. In essence, when she was actually trying to kill him, he was already preemptively trying to find out how to save her. I was kind of like, this is actually kind of interesting. In essence, you kind of also saw where he saved her with the actual spikes, that actually kind of never landmark in Morio. I was kind of like, that's actually kind of interesting as well. But really, its anime just improves every single week, and I just honestly say, I'm so happy that I really did pick this anime up. Since I did really marathon way through the entirety of JoJo in the space of like almost 1 week. Probably less than that. I probably marathon way through it in about 3 days, since it was freaking addictive. The anime is really freaking addictive. So if one episode you're like, oh man, I should watch the next episode. It's just I love this anime. And part 4 is just, I don't know. I didn't think I was getting anything better than part 3, and since part 3 season 2 was just like this perfect anime, but I think part 4 is slowly improving on that. I just don't know what to expect next. Single episode just outdoes itself. Each single character outdoes themselves each week as time goes on. Each stand user, each enemy, each antagonist just improves as weeks go on. I just love each and every one of them. And really, Yukako might just be the best one so far. So yes, with all that said, I've been a driver. If you leave a like, do leave a like. It's something quite a bit. Leave a sub. Do leave a sub. It's something quite a bit. But with all that said, I have been a driver. And I will see you guys later. Bye for now.